everybody, and welcome back to Let's Play Long Live the Queen. Believe it or not, guys, I think we got this. I did a little bit of tinkering with the previous save, trying to figure out ways that we'd be able to get through the situation, and I found out something that should work out fine for us. I ended up, for the last 2 weeks, I went about the exact same thing that we did before, where we didn't lead the naval fleet, and, basically the only thing that changed was, how I set up, how I trained myself, what classes Elodie took throughout the week. And what I did was, I focused mainly on reflexes, at least up until this point for today. I had to put one day, or like one half of a day into dance, which was really sucky. I was not happy with that, but had to get dance over 25. But that got us reflexes to 74, and for today's plan, we're scheduling one for swords and one for reflexes as well, to get those things frickin' high. So, I just realized that means I wouldn't have read all the reflex descriptions to you guys, so I hope you're all, not too upset about that. We actually did read them in the past before, though, because I remember that I maxed out reflexes. So, if you guys are really into the small flavor text for all of, the levels that you gain, the ones for reflexes are in some of my earlier videos, so you can check that out if you're interested. 80. You practice running through a field dodging balls that are thrown at you from all sides. Yeah, I remember that one. 90. You sit quietly in the center of a room, watching out of the corners of your eyes to see people approaching you from distance. Or from a distance. 20. You practice slow swings to move your blade to oh, wait, I just read these in the last episode. We could skip that then. And I'm just gonna read this once again because, you know, it's a new episode, fresh one, might as well, and some things might change, even though I think the only thing that changes might be the sense magic one. That happens early on, but actually that happened in the last episode, so nothing here should change, but we'll read it anyways. The invasion of Nova is proceeding. Your coastline is under Shanjae control. Soldiers have marched through villages, trampling fields, and frightening citizens. A diplomatic delegation from Shanjae has requested access to the castle to discuss terms. Most likely for your surrender. You lack the strength to hold off their armies, and surrendering now will save many lives. It would seem that you have no choice. You prepare yourself as best as you can to meet with representatives from Shanjae. You expected diplomats and a military representative, a general or an admiral. You did not expect a handsome man decked in jewels who now stands before you. A man announced by your servants as Tagami, king of Shanjae. Is he really their king? Why would a king come all the way here? And he's a lumen, too. My dear young lady, how difficult this must be for you. So much responsibility at such a tender age. Don't pretend to be my friend while you're killing my people. Temper, temper, princess. After all, I am here to save your people. War benefits no one, don't you think? Such a terrible waste. Better to settle things in a civilized manner. A contest, a game, so to speak, with Nova as the stakes. Should I win, then your domain will submit and accept me as overlord with no further resistance. Should I lose, then my army will leave your domain in peace and shed no more blood. What sort of game? It is well known that Nova is ruled by lumens. As it happens, I too possess the powers of a lumen. I propose a formal duel. My powers against yours. The winner takes control of Nova. The loser dies. Your game by your rules? For my life? That doesn't sound fair to me. The rules of formal dueling have been passed down for centuries and must be upheld. It is important that we do this by the ancient codes. Why should I? If you refuse, then the war will continue. I'll sweeten the deal. If you meet me in formal Lumen Challenge, I'll call off the invasion even if I win. Really? I swear it by the gods. Nova will be free and safe. Why take that risk? You're winning the war. It's not your land that I want. It's your crystal. To gain your power, I am willing to wager my own. Shall we begin? I don't like this, but what choice do I have? Accept his terms, we shall fight to the death. Then, I must. Tagami explains the rules of formal dueling to you, including a carefully inscribed circle of wards which will contain the effects of any powers you wield, protecting bystanders from danger. And then it is time to begin. You trade attacks, one spell sensed and countered by another, reserving your strength as much as possible. It might almost be exciting if your life weren't on the line. You need to end this quickly before his experience allows him to come up with a trick you can't defeat. He's used to dealing with magical attacks, but he might not be expecting a physical one. Perhaps if you rushed him, you could take him off guard. Up close, he couldn't use his fancy spells. But what would you do then? You still have to use magic to win. You can't just grab him and bang his head against the floor. Perhaps you could focus your power into the shape of a sword and attack him with it. Or maybe, if you could distract him somehow, you could cast a spell that he couldn't block. Alright! Magic sword to victory! Motes of shimmering moonlight coalesce into a weapon in your hand. Your first lunge, he dodges, rolling to the ground, but you recover quickly and strike again. In the confined space of the warded circle, there is nowhere for him to run. The final strike of your moonblade parts his head from his shoulders. You have won. Hell yeah! We decapitated a jerkwad, and hopefully there will be no more in the future. Because I do not want to deal with more angry people. What do we want to do today? Honestly, since we do have a method to make ourselves angry again, it might be best just to attend service and reduce that, because we don't know what's going to happen in our future, and we might want to actually start working towards some of the other moods in the future, so we could develop different skills once our ones for angry are maxed out. So let's go ahead and do that. And then probably from here on out, we're just going to keep on maxing those. I'm actually going to save right now because I don't want bad things to happen. Yeah, I mean, in case bad things happen, I want us to be able to go back here. Man, oh man, I'm happy we got through that. Happy we were able to pull that out, because I have loved this series so far, and I want to be able to pull through it, you know? I want us to win and succeed. So, do we want to keep on with weapons? Or actually, at this point, it might be a really good idea to work with either medicine or economics, because I would imagine after war, especially such a devastating loss, it would probably be very important to work towards rekindling the strength of our nation. So let's actually go ahead and put on our tuxedo, yeah, to boost economics, and let's try working on that once again. We could do trade and production. Because we lost that war quite handedly, even with recruiting new soldiers and you having to use funds for that, of course. So I would imagine our country has got to be in a horrible place right now. So let's go ahead and do that. That would be economics. We want to do trade and production. So hopefully that'll do some good things for us in the future. 30. The most important trade route in the domain is the Kavala River. It trades through the center of your lands, and almost every duchy contains tributaries that feed into the Kavala, allowing goods to be shipped along it by boat. 40. Much of the domain's trade comes in from the Western Ocean. The capital city and your castle are located on the inside. On an island near the mouth of the Kavala River, where it meets the sea. That makes this the most important location for trade in the domain. That's pretty cool. Also gives us a nice image of, or mental image of what our domain looks like. We barely got under 50, but then again, our tuxedo will get us over that, so that's good if that really becomes of crucial importance. 40. You'll learn that the hilly terrain of Hellas is no good for growing most crops, but is excellent for vineyards and migratory flocks of sheep and goats. 50. You learn that gold and other precious minerals are mined in the mountains of Eleth. That's pretty cool, I suppose. It's like the Mines of Moria, just Mines of Eleth. Once you had defeated the king of Shanji in a duel, the invasion was meant to be over. In practice, it is not quite so easy to expel a foreign army from your lands, particularly when their leadership is falling apart. The remaining Shangjin generals seemed surprisingly eager to go home and left without a fuss. That actually doesn't kind of surprise me based on what kind of ruler that guy seemed to be. He seemed to be quite a, he seemed like he ruled with an iron fist, and I would imagine most of his generals were people that were forced into that position, so it doesn't surprise me if they want to leave. Like, he seems like a huge dictator type. But a large number of soldiers have broken ranks and run amok, looting and pillaging their way through Nova just for fun. What jerkwads. A number of royal holdings have been damaged and valuables stolen. Not only do you lose them, but you'll have to pay for repairs. Oh god, hopefully our marketing stuff will help us with that. With so many renegades on the loose, Nova seems likely to have severe bandit problems for years to come. Ooh, we can meet with Juliana. Let's go ahead and do that. That should be fun. See what she has to say for us. Psst! I need to talk to you. I really like that. What is it? That priestess, Celine? She's a lumen. I can sense it. I know. What do you mean you know? If you knew that, why didn't you tell me? You didn't need to know. Your job is managing the domain. Some of us have other duties. Our missions have been passed down for centuries, little princess. Lore failed. That sucks. We are here to train you. You don't need to know any more than that. It's kind of a weird situation. I trust Juliana. This kind of thing where she's kind of going behind our back. It worries me a little, because I'd be very, very upset if she betrayed us. But she's been very, very kind to us, and I trust her, so I think we should just let this go. There's no reason to get mad at Juliana. She's a cool lady. Right. Don't betray me, Juliana, or else I'll have to kill you next. Alright, let's see, what's up next for us? We could continue to work with our economics, but in all honesty, I think now that we have more points in that like set of things, I feel more confident to that. Medicine would probably be a good thing, but I would like it to be a bit higher. Probably actually smart to keep on working on our weapons just in case more people try to kill us in the future. So let's go back to weaponry. We'll probably just max out archery, then max out polearms. That means we could put a massive amount of points into swords later on, and that should be pretty good. So let's do archery first, followed by the legendary polearms. Also, I think we already read these, but just in case, I'll be sure to read them again. You'll learn about a variety of long weapons, from the quarterstaff to the spear to the halberd and glaive. 10. You learn how to twist and wax bowstring from a variety of fibers. Time has slipped by you so quickly. Only 2 weeks remain before your birthday celebration and your official coronation as queen. Have you done enough to build a stable Nova? I don't know, you tell me, game. Like, our country is kind of in ruins right now, but I think we can repair, and I saved our country from being overrun. So, I mean, I did a lot better than I could have, you know? At least I didn't doom us. It is traditional for the palace to provide entertainment and refreshment for the common people when a new monarch is crowned. It is a rare opportunity for the poor of the land to dine like nobles. Unfortunately, the royal treasury has been stretched too far in recent times to support a great feast. Perhaps next year. Oh, that sucks. Royal treasury must be dwindled like mad, which would not surprise me at all. But, who knows? Hopefully, with our work in regards to our marketing skills, economic skills, we should, I would imagine next year, hopefully we would be at that point. Let's go ahead and reduce our anger, because we could always just make it grow later on, you know? Basically following the same path that I had in mind before. What would be good for today? Obviously, yesterday was the past 2 weeks have been rather uneventful, which makes sense, since we just got over this huge war effort. But it kinda makes me worry that something big might happen before too long. Let's actually just continue the 2 weapons for now, and maybe things will change before too long, based on us doing this right here. So let's see. 20, you practice walking while carrying a long bow, getting the feel for its size and weight, and learning to maneuver without banging it into another unintentionally. 30, you learn the basic stances, grips, and positions for staff fighting, and how to block a blow without crushing your fingers. 20, you learn to cut, fletch, and tie bow arrows. 30, you learn about different styles and sizes of bows, long, short, and recurve. Yay, we unlocked a new outfit. I always love getting the new outfits. Oh man, this might be intense right here. We got the crazy music going on. You awaken to the sound of chanting outside the castle. You stick your head out the window to see what's happening, then withdraw with a gasp. Oh no. The peasants are rebelling! No! Ugh, that is not a surprise, but I don't know what to say about that. Hundreds, maybe thousands of them, with spears and pitchforks and torches, all screaming for your removal. I saved our country! What do you want me to do? And here you are in your tower, with your armies depleted from the recent war. Of course you do have an advantage over the mob. You are a lumen. Do you dare turn your powers on your own people? This is really bad, but I think we have to attack them. I mean, what else are we gonna do? If we wait, they're not going to go away. This is a mob rebelling. We have to act. And we're queen, so we have to show that we... I mean, this is gonna be like... We're gonna like be turning into a dictator by attacking our people, but I really don't see any other choice. Let's go ahead and do this. You refuse to cower like a frightened rabbit. You will march out to them openly and show them that you have the power of the gods behind you. Wield magic success. What would be difficult against soldiers in armor? What would be difficult against soldiers in armor is instead ridiculously easy against untrained peasants. You barely have to wave your hand and people fall away, screaming and covered in burns! Oh my god. My poor people. They didn't have to revolt though. I'm trying to rebuild the country. Oh man, I'm not happy with that, but I think it had to be done. After only a few minutes, the crowd breaks and flees in panic, leaving behind only the wounded, too slow to get out of the way of the stampede. Well, we're alive. At least that can be said. That'll increase yielding, so I think we actually have to go ahead and do -1 to angry again. We'll still be mad, so we'll be able to keep on working on our weapons skills and all that jazz. I could see future assassinations coming in, especially after that day. You know, now that the mobs have been dealt with, they're probably gonna send single targets after me. Or at least that's what I would imagine would happen at this point. Would be nice to do medicine, to like try to have peace with my people, maybe like return to them and like heal the wounded to kind of make up for what I did there. But I think we need to work on protecting ourselves. And honestly, I actually would not be surprised if that wouldn't be an option the game would give us. I would be very surprised if the game was like, do you want to go out and heal those people you just burned to death right now? I would imagine the game wouldn't give us something like that. So let's work on swords like mad. Then maybe we'll work on archery like mad? I don't know. We'll see how things go. Could always branch them out separately, but I kind of... It's kind of funny, though. I've kind of taken to really liking the idea of putting a lot of points into single things. Resist magic is pretty low, though. I mean, not lower than I would like it to be. Now that we actually don't have the benefit of our Lumen outfit, so let's actually take one of those to put into resist magic. 40. You practice moving with a blade, sidestepping, charging, and lunging. 50. You practice using your blade to disarm opponents or shove them backwards. 70. You learn how to maintain a low-level deflection field, so that magical attacks not directly targeted at you slide harmlessly aside. We actually read these two already, but I'll go ahead and finish them. This doesn't need much power, so you can keep it up for long periods of time. 80. You learn how to directly counter offensive magic with your own power, so that you can burn out a spell that someone else has cast. This is very dangerous if the other spell is too powerful. At this time last year, you were celebrating your 14th birthday. You were in the school gardens, surrounded by your friends. A teacher brought you tea and cakes, while a wealthy merchant's song wove a crown of flowers for your head. It didn't matter so much that you were a princess then. Your title was something else, something for the future. Many of your peers would be duchesses or earls or the like. Someday, but not then. You were children. Your parents could not attend on the actual day, but they did send wonderful gifts. Some for you and some for you to share. And a week later, they came for a visit, and your mother took you with her through the countryside in a splendid carriage. It was the last time you would ever see her. You wonder if, wherever she is, she can see you now. You are 15 years old, a legal adult. You have worked and studied and suffered and prepared. And now the time has come. Holy crap, is this it? Did we actually finally make it? I might have counted wrong, and this might be the end of the game right here. Holy guacamole, it looks like we made it! Elodie looks so pretty and fancy. This is awesome. You kneel before the priestess, barely hearing her words as she recites the blessings. She calls upon the gods to deliver peace, wisdom, and prosperity to you, and through you to all of Nova. And then she calls upon you for your oath of rulership. Priestess of the First Circle, will you guide and govern and protect your people to the best of your ability, according to the law and custom? I will. Will you, to the best of your power, uphold the ideals of love, honor, justice, and mercy? I will, even though it just burns down those poor people. Lords and ladies assembled, I present to you your undoubted queen, who has sworn you her loyalty. You who have come to give homage, will you do the same? One at a time, the head of each duchy approaches your throne and kneels to swear his or her service to you and your heirs. People of Nova, I give you Elodie, daughter of Fidela, or Fidelia, your true sovereign. What say you all? Long live the queen! Long live the queen! Long live the queen! Aw, thank you, I will! Hopefully you will, Elodie. I trust you will, since we have guided you to this point. Oh man, we did it. Long live the queen! Sucks that we got this image of this sad guy with a rose, though. What the hell is up with that? Should have a happy person. Once his daughter was secure on her throne, Jocelyn returned to his birthplace to focus on his duchies as Duke of Corrales. He was persuaded by manly women, but showed little interest in remarrying, directing them instead to his brother, the Duke of Mazomba. Oh, that must have been him then. Okay, this is all the people, or represents whatever it's talking about. The subject of magic and lumens remained a slightly uncomfortable one for the citizens of Nova. Perfectly fine for the queen, who had inherited it by divine right, but not something that other people should be aspiring towards. Look at all the terrible things that happened when that power fell into the wrong hands. Whoa, what the— Oh no! Is that Juliana? As an openly acknowledged lumen, Juliana, Duchess of Ursul, was met with public suspicion. Whenever she journeyed outside the duchy, at times that suspicion was accompanied with thrown vegetables. Juliana, no! It did not matter that Elodie supported her fully as a member of the noble court. That only led the commoners to whisper that Juliana was a bad influence on their queen. Juliana's perpetually unmarried state was even more worrying to those with waging tongues. What if that influence rubbed off on the queen and left Nova with no heir? What frickin' jerkwads. I don't like our country. The civilians are a bunch of jerks. Honestly, I could understand why they rebelled. But this is going too far. Oh no, what's this? After the failed invasion, relations with Shangji remained tense. First came the recriminations and demands from the Queen of Shangji, devastated by the death of her husband, which Elodie ignored. Next came the subtler approaches, the quiet gratitude and offerings for alliances from ministers who were thrilled to see Tagami gone. Elodie ignored those as well, which was just as well. Well, that's why they said also right there, because they said as well in the same sense. Since the next thing to arrive was the preserved head of one of those traitorous ministers sent by the Queen of Shangji as a warning. There was no sign of war in the immediate future, but there was not likely to be an alliance either. Years later, when both were adult, Elodie, Queen of Nova, and Adair, Duke of Elith, were married. An entire week of public celebrations was set aside for the wedding, and both bride and groom paraded through the capital on fine white horses from the east. The relationship often seemed to be more one of friends and companions than passionate lovers, but they brought stability to Nova, and honestly, that's nice. I mean, it sucks that they're not incredibly passionate, but at least they're friends. Better to be happy with your lover than like hating hating each other all your life. And they could always find passion in animals, since they had that in their youths together. As a lumen, it was Elodie's responsibility to defend Nova from monstrous threats. She decided that the monsters within the realm were every bit as dangerous as those outside, and thus set herself to the task of conquering the old forest. Each monster would have to be identified and carefully studied in order to defeat it without upsetting the balance. It would take many years to reach the heart of the forest, but Elodie was undaunted, and thus Queen Elodie's legacy stretched into the future. Long live the Queen. Awesome. I hope you guys have enjoyed the series. I've had a super fun time with this game, and honestly, actually, I thought it was going to go one more episode longer than this. I'm surprised we actually reached the end in that week. I don't know why. It just felt like something else was going to happen in between those. But yeah, this has been one of my favorite games that I've played in a long while. Like, the one bad thing I would say about it is that there's maybe not quite as much replay value as I would hope, simply because, all of the randomization of events is based on what checks you succeed in and stuff like that. So obviously all your plays are going to be different unless you work on the exact same things every time. But it's not as far as like complete random generation would be. But honestly, I think that's me asking for something that you know, I might be asking for a little bit too much in that regards, because this game is perfectly awesome and amazing the way it is, and yeah, I'm super glad we got Elodie to succeed. So I think this is actually going to be the end of Long Live the Queen. Maybe I'll come back to this game and play some more of it in the future, but I think now that we've completed Elodie's story, and things seem to be working out pretty well for our country, I think, or for Nova. So I could be happy with that, but I would kinda like someday to come back and do like a real dictatorship run or something like that, where we just do all the like cruel tasks, maybe actually even turn Juliana away at the beginning and focus mainly on military strength and stuff like that, and actually execute a lot of people. I would be pretty excited to see how that worked out, and see if, who knows, maybe even on top of that, we would be able to defeat the Shang J, or whatever they're called, forces solely with our military might. That would be pretty impressive. I don't even know if that's possible, but I would have to guess it would be, since, it would be pretty sucky if this game was impossible to win by turning Juliana away. So like I was saying, I don't think that would be an option, but yeah, so, I hope you guys enjoyed the series, like I said, and there shall be some very cool, exciting new stuff coming by in the future with new games and stuff like that in my play. So yeah, I think that's going to be it for this episode, and Long Live the Queen. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like, comment, and or subscribing if you have not. I am the EggScrambledGamer, and I will see you all next time.